Today, I am making a relatively affordable baritone guitar, so stick around. Hey everybody, it is Aaron at Warmoth, and recently, just this summer, I was hired by a band to do a show with them, and it was a country band, and so I had to learn a whole bunch of songs in like 2 weeks that I didn't know at all. And one of those songs was Ain't No Love in Oklahoma by Luke Combs. It's from the Twister soundtrack. And I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but I wasn't. But it's a great song. It's a very simple song, but it features, it's in the key of C, and there at the end of the main riff, there's this low C. And at first listen, I thought it was a baritone guitar. I honestly don't know what was used on the recording. I don't know if it was a baritone guitar or just like a regular guitar in drop C, but that's pretty low. You got to have some fat strings or that low C is just flopping around like a fish on dry land. But regardless of all that, it gave me a kick in the butt to get a baritone guitar because I don't have one, and I think it adds a great flavor to music. And so I took that as a sign, and I said, I'm getting a baritone guitar. I'm building one. I'm doing it. And so that is what I'm going to do today. And it's not something that I'm going to use all the time, so I didn't want to spend a ton of money on it. So what I did was I found this body for pretty cheap, and this is an old Mexi Fender Strat. This is an official Fender body, Mexican made from the 90s, I think. I look at the date codes in there. It says September 13th, which is my wife's birthday, by the way. 95, it says. So I think this is from 95. It's had all kinds of stuff done to it. I think it's got a set of bootstrap pickups in it right now. But I found this for pretty cheap. And then I had this baritone conversion neck. So what I'm going to do in this video is just show you that our the Warmoth baritone conversion necks will fit official Fender bodies. They do that because even though the neck is quite a bit wider down here, there's these little indents right there. That make it possible to fit just a standard Fender pocket. And along the side there, the fretboard actually like kind of overhangs along the side from that indent forward. That's about, what would that be? The 19th fret. The 19th fret forward, the fretboard kind of just overhangs along the side and then of course at the end. And then that little indent allows it to fit. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and attach this neck to this body, string it up. I mean, there's not much work to do. Everything's pretty much ready to go. So I'll attach it, string it up, strum a few notes, and then we'll talk at the end. All right, I can start off by showing you here these indentations that I'm talking about and the overhang right along this edge right here. And that is what allows a Warmoth baritone conversion neck to fit into a standard Fender neck pocket. So let's do that. Fits in there perfectly. And then as I attach this neck has been attached to things in the past. And one little tip that I can give you to keep the holes from being worn out is when you put in the screw, turn it backwards before you turn it forwards. And you'll hear it ka-thunk down into the grooves that the screw has already cut in the past. It's sort of the same principle as screwing on a salad dressing lid. You turn it backwards before you turn it forwards. You turn it backwards until you feel it fall down into the threads. It's the same principle. So if you listen closely, you might be able to even hear it as it falls down into those threads. There, right there. It fell down in. And then it's very easy to drive. So let's see if we can hear it on this one. There. One more time. Let's see if we can hear it. Right there. It's not very loud, so I hope you can hear this, but when you are doing it in person, you'll be able to hear it as well as feel it. Let's try it one more time. Right there. And voila, we have this neck attached. Now, one thing I will say as I get ready to string this thing up is that it is very important to use non-locking tuners. On a baritone guitar, this low E and the low A for that matter are so big that if you use locking tuners, the strings will not fit through the tuner holes. With non-locking, they barely fit through there. So anyway, if you're building a baritone guitar, make sure to use non-locking tuners. And there you have it, a pretty awesome baritone guitar for not a lot of dough, relatively speaking. I think I've told you all the important stuff about using a Warmoth Baritone Conversion neck. I already told you to use regular tuners, not locking tuners. I already told you about the overhang down here, which you really can't feel when you're playing. If I had my choice, I would go with a fixed bridge rather than a tremolo, but that's what was on this relatively cheap body, so that's what I have to work around. Right now I have it jacked down with 5 springs, but even at that, these gigantic strings are pulling the bridge up a little bit, so I'll have to end up blocking that down. These big heavy strings are causing a lot of sympathetic vibrations that I'm going to have to run down and suss out. But overall, it's a pretty easy conversion. Oh, I do need to fine-tune the intonation as well. But it's a pretty easy conversion. I have this one tuned to B with the low string B, which I think is probably the most common baritone guitar tuning. So if I were to play the riff from Ain't No Love in Oklahoma, it would be a step down from the recorded version, but it would still sound pretty awesome. And of course you can use baritone guitars to play all kinds of other cool stuff, and they show up all over the place in pop music. Eddie Van Halen used them, Brian Setzer, Dave Matthews. They show up all over the place in country music. Dwight Yoakam, Brad Paisley, just like everybody uses baritone guitars. They just add this really cool flavor. And I've done videos on the past where I've shown baritone guitars in a mix, so I'll link to that in the description. But if you have any more questions about Warmoth Baritone Conversion necks, make sure and check out our website. Tons of info there. If you still have questions, give our customer service reps a call. They are always happy to help. And until next time, keep on picking.